Is America's monetary policy following the same path as fallen empires? There is a pattern that has erased every great empire in history. Not war, not rebellion, not foreign invasion. The real cause has always been economic collapse, specifically the collapse of the currency itself. And every single time, it happens the same way. So the question is America's monetary policy today following the same path as the empires that collapsed before it? Rome. The empire that ruled the world for centuries collapsed the moment its currency lost its value. Spain. The nation that possessed more gold and silver than any country in history defaulted repeatedly and eventually lost its empire. Britain. The empire that dominated global trade for 200 years fell within a single decade after its currency collapsed. History shows us something disturbing. 4 times, the world's dominant empire followed the exact same path. Military expansion, unsustainable spending, currency debasement or excessive money printing, inflation, loss of confidence, collapse. And each time, the leaders said the same things. We are different. This will not happen to us. The rules don't apply to us. Every single time, they were wrong. And now, in 2025, the United States is following the same path, step by step. The same warning signs are flashing again. The only real question is, are we at the beginning, the middle, or the end? This is the story of how empires destroy themselves through their own currency. What happened in Rome? What happened in Spain? What happened in Britain? And why the same signals are now appearing in America. Rome. Rome, the most powerful empire of its time, ruling Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East for over 500 years. At its height, Rome governed 60 million people across 3 continents. Its army had no equal. Its infrastructure was the most advanced in the world. And its currency, the denarius. Used and trusted from Britain to Egypt, the denarius was first minted in 211 BC. It contained about 4.5 grams of pure silver. For centuries, its value never changed, because Rome never changed the silver content. When you were paid in denarii, you knew exactly what you were getting. Real silver, real value. That trust allowed Rome to pay its legions, build its roads, and grow its empire. But empires are more expensive than most people realize. Every expansion meant more soldiers, more construction, more roads, more administration, which meant more money. The moment Rome spent more than it earned, it did what every empire before and after it would do. It debased its currency. The first major debasement began under Emperor Nero. The silver content was reduced from 100% to 90%. That missing 10% went directly into the emperor's treasury. More coins were created from the same amount of silver. That is inflation. But the real destruction came later. Under Emperor Caracalla, silver fell to 50%. Under Emperor Gallienus, it dropped to just 5%. A coin that was once pure silver was now 95% worthless metal. By 265 AD, a Roman soldier was being paid in coins worth 1/12 of what soldiers earned 2 centuries earlier. But the government insisted, nothing has changed. The coin looked the same. The emperor's face was still on it. It was still called a denarius. But its buying power had collapsed. What cost 1 denarius in 200 AD cost 50 by 300 AD. Farmers stopped accepting coins. Soldiers demanded gold and goods. Taxes could no longer be collected. The system froze. And notice, this was not caused by invasion, not by plague, not by natural disaster. It was self-destruction. In 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire officially collapsed. Not because enemies were stronger, but because Rome could no longer pay its army, manage its state, or maintain its infrastructure. When the currency died, the empire died with it. Spain. Now let's jump forward 12 centuries. The 1500s. Spain's Golden Age. Christopher Columbus opened the New World. Cortés destroyed the Aztecs. Pizarro conquered the Inca. And Spain suddenly controlled the richest lands on earth. Then in 1545, Cerro Rico Mountain was discovered in Bolivia. This wasn't an ordinary mine. It was the largest silver deposit ever found. For over a century, nearly half of the world's silver came from this mountain. Spain created the first true global currency, the Spanish dollar. But then came the fatal mistake. As money increased, its value collapsed. What cost 1 coin in 1500 cost 10 coins in 1600. Inflation began, and Spain produced nothing. No industry, no innovation, only extraction and consumption. The silver entered Spain and immediately flowed out to England, France, and the Netherlands. Debt became inevitable. Under King Philip II, Spain defaulted in 1557. Again in 1560, again in 1596. 4 bankruptcies in 40 years. Half the world's silver and still unable to pay. Trust collapsed. Then the currency was debased. Copper coins were passed off as silver. No one believed it. By the 1600s, Spain was finished. The Treaty of Westphalia in 1648 marked its true end. Britain. In 1922, 1/4 of the earth, 1/4 of the world's population, and the British pound, the world's money, for over 200 years. But the entire empire was built on debt. World War I shattered Britain's finances. Gold was abandoned. The pound became fiat money. In 1925, Britain tried to return to gold. It failed. In 1931, gold was abandoned again. But World War II delivered the final blow. By the end of the war, Britain's debt reached 270% of GDP. In 1944, the pound lost its throne. The dollar took its place. In 1949, the pound was devalued by 30%. In 1967, it was again. Trust vanished. India left. Suez was lost. The colonies disappeared. By the 1970s, inflation exceeded 25%. Britain begged the IMF for help. Now, America. The US dollar has ruled since 1944. In 1971, the gold link was cut. Pure fiat money. After 2008, trillions were printed. From 2020 onward, $4 trillion was created in just 2 years. U.S. debt, 1980, $900 billion. 2000, $5.6 trillion. 2020, $27 trillion. 2025, over $36 trillion. The dollar's share of global reserves, 2000, over 70%. 2025, about 58% and falling. BRICS is building alternatives. Gold is being hoarded. The United States maintains 800 foreign military bases, $800 billion defense spending, $8 trillion in war spending. The 7-stage collapse pattern: dominance, overexpansion, permanent deficits, currency debasement, inflation, loss of confidence, collapse. We are now between stage 5 and 6. What comes next? 3 possibilities: controlled decline, like Britain, chaotic collapse, like Rome, or reset and restructuring, new system. The reality is, debt cannot be repaid forever. Money cannot be printed without consequence. Trust, once lost, never returns easily. Rome, Spain, Britain, and now America. 4 empires, 4 collapses, 1 pattern. The only difference? This time, the entire world goes with it. Because when the dollar falls, everyone feels it. History says one thing: it is inevitable. The only unknown is how fast and how painful.